Women of Reddit, what are some things you would recommend to men to be better boyfriends? Just hug her for no reason sometimes. Affirm your affection for them by saying nice things or qualities you like about them yourself. I love that you do that, anything that shows your reassurance that they are the best. Honestly, get excitable. Nothing kills a conversation like when a man tries to look cool and not geek out when they want to. Seeing a dude get excited over their interests is adorable. Man here, taking notes. Be tidy, clean and hygienic. Hug and cuddle without pressuring for. Listen and remember what she says. Say nice things you notice about her. Don't have with other girls. Share feelings, probably the hardest one. Just take a moment to reflect on what conversations you're having and what you're bringing to them. I know there's this idea that your partner is the person you can vent to, but is that all you're doing? Try to be mindful that your partner also has difficult times. Are you as available to listen to them as they are for you? Do all, or even most, of your conversations turn into a back and forth of complaints about work/traffic/etc? Are those complaints really worth the time you're dedicating to them? I recently suggested to my boyfriend that, hey, let's make the bed a no complaining zone. I brought it up because every single night I would find myself just laying in the dark rolling my eyes as he went on and on about the same issues with the same coworkers every single night. Even nights when he didn't work would end up this way. Now we have a rule of, if this is really something that you want to talk about right this moment, we'll go sit on the sofa and talk. It gives you a moment to just consider if it's really that big of an issue or not. What he's found is that usually it's not worth it, and I've seen a positive change in him. He seems happier now that he's not dwelling on small stuff. Surprise her sometimes by remembering something you shared and calling back to it. Communicate instead of yelling. I have made a pact with myself to never be with a person ever again who doesn't make an effort to communicate with me. It's paid off immensely, and I'm super happy with a wonderful man now who I never argue with, when all my previous relationships were torrentially toxic and abusive. I'm not saying not arguing ever is normal, but it definitely isn't normal when people yell and cuss as a communicative norm. A how are you? Text and a thinking about you. Text etc goes a long way. Affirmations and validation work well. I honestly feel like being a good boyfriend is very subjective. Of course you want FO do all the broad, good person stuff like being invested and supportive of her life, being kind etc. But get to know her, find out what she likes and what she appreciates. What's her love language? What are the small things that can really take things to the next level for your relationship? What triggers her or makes her upset? What are her turn-on/turn offs? Pay attention, get to know the person you're dating, and invest in them. Hugs and affection with no ulterior motive. Sometimes I like to be held without feeling like he's wanting to, me. Explain how you feel. We want to know what you're feeling. Clean up after yourself. For God's sake, clean up after yourselves. I also hear men need respect, women need love. Why not do both for both? I may hang out with your friends like one of the guys, or play video games like one of the guys, but I'm not one of the guys. I'm your girlfriend. Give me attention outside of hanging with your friends. Do things with me other than what you like to do with your friends, and spend quality time with me away from your friends. Not as a special treat, not as a holiday surprise, but as a normal part of our relationship. Pay attention to what she says and remember the little things. Show appreciation for what she does for you. Put in equal work around the house. Encourage her and support her aspirations. Don't cheat. If she's complaining or venting, it's not always because she wants advice or a solution. Sometimes all that's needed is to vent. So, in those situations, just let her vent. Honestly, I have the best boyfriend ever, and he taught me these things. Ask your own girlfriend what you can do to be better for her. You guys should be a team, not just you. This helps in arguments. Remind yourself you are a team, and that you shouldn't bring your own teammate down. Don't hide your feelings. Be completely open with her. Surprise her every once in a while, and I'm not saying it has to be money. My favorite thing is when I get surprised with notes. Ask her how she is every day and make sure to be there for her 100% when she's down. If she asks you to stop doing something or do something more, listen. Even if you don't agree, compromise on something you both can work with. He always does things for me. Do little things. I say I'm thirsty while laying down. He'll go grab it. Say I want chocolate milk. He'll say let's go. Say I want medicine, he'll put the medicine on the table for me with a glass of water. Main point of it all, be there and truly care. That's how you can be a good boyfriend. Be open about how you feel and make sure she is too. It's harder than it is written on Reddit, but the good times and the meaningful efforts will mean everything in the end. No one said relationships are easy, but the right person makes it completely worth it. You have to be willing to grow into a better person. Lastly, yes, doing all this can make you a better boyfriend, but make sure she's doing enough back too. Like I said in number 2, it should be a team. Send memes. Just keep your girl up to date on things. If you're having a busy day, it keeps them less worried and making sure you are safe. This isn't a necessary thing, but my so is a local truck driver, and the fact that he will text me when he is near a store that has stuff I like or need and ask if I want him to grab anything makes me love him even more. I don't work outside of the house, so it saves me a trip and I love it. He also will go get me medicine if I need it without hesitation. I should give him more back rubs. If you're getting irritated with us, please calmly explain why. Or if we are trying to bring up what's bothering us, please don't get defensive and then flip the blame on us. Otherwise, it makes us feel like we are just a nuisance to you. I get that communication is a learned skill that requires experience. In short, encouraging and practicing open, honest, and respectful communication on both sides. From a man's view, been with my wife for 27 years last March. Make the effort to look nice. I'm 46 and I groom a fair bit, including downstairs. I use nice aftershave, not the cheap brands such as Lynx, Harmony, Guxy, Jane Paul and Paco Rabanne are amongst my favorite scents. My wife likes me wearing Jane Paul. Wear nice underwear like they do. Look after yourself physically. No one wants a slob. Wear nice clothes, not ill-fitting stuff from supermarkets. More importantly, don't expect her to cook or do all the cleaning. If you both work, it's both your job to keep the home clean. Women like to be told they're beautiful and that you're thinking of them, even if those thoughts are UAL, as it makes them feel wanted, and also it can make less confident women feel better about themselves. Not all attractive women are confident. Do silly things like leave silly gifts, even a small box of their favorite chocolate on their pillow, or hide it in the house and leave clues for them to find it. A gift doesn't have to cost the earth. It's the thought that is put into it. Valentine's Day isn't the only day to make the effort on. In fact, we never bother with it. There's an whole year to do stuff for each other. 27 years and we still have that spark. I still see my wife in the same way as I did when we first met. Stop caring about your looks and just try to be more hygienic. For real, you people care too much about how you look, and you smell awful. If a woman is in a bad mood, never, I repeat, never ask if she's got her period. Clean up after your damn self. I didn't sign up to be a grown man's mother. Don't make me ask. Don't make me point out what needs to be done. Seriously, you should know. Do not forget to tell your girlfriend she's beautiful. I feel like so many guys forget to do this, especially after they've been with a girl for a while. Girls love to be reminded that you're still attracted to them. It goes a long way and it'll always make her happy. Get a skincare routine. She'll notice, your mum will notice, random women will notice that your skin is cared for. Figure out both of y'all's love languages and respond accordingly. Some people thrive on words of affirmation. Some prioritize quality time together, etc. It's okay if y'all have different love languages, but knowing your partners and what they value most in a relationship will make things a lot easier for you than trying to guess what they want. Plan out unique dates. Don't leave it all up to her, and offer back rubs without wanting anything in return. Genuine compliments. There's been so many times I get especially dressed up thinking my boyfriend is going to think I look nice, and then I see him and he doesn't compliment me even when I know I look good because other guys hit on me. It would be nice if my boyfriend could hit on me for once, lol. Also paying attention to what she really likes. like what color jewelry she wears, or her favorite colors. It really means a lot when you can tell someone put effort into a gift and thought of what you like. My grandpa thanked my grandma for the delicious meal after every single meal that she cooked for him. Don't get so used to your partner that you stop noticing and showing gratitude for the lovely things they do for you. Take the online quiz about the 5 love languages to learn how each of you show and like to receive love. It sounds cheesy, but it's a really accurate little test. It helps us all to see how our partners are showing their love. Do your share of household chores. Don't ask or expect a medal for doing household chores once or twice. It is a routine. Just own the task and keep doing it. Remember that since you are doing something, it is easy for you to remember you did it, and that this makes you overestimate the amount of chores you are being responsible for. If living alone, maintain your house with high standards. Clean stuff and change sheets often enough. Clean the toilets. Learn to cook. Not just one very slow to prepare meal. Learn to cook decent meals that can be prepared normally during a weekday. Learn to cook without making the kitchen look like a war zone. This might be a me thing, but I feel like nothing turns around a bad day or makes a girl feel more loved than the occasional little surprise, like buying flowers from TJ's when it's your turn to grocery shop, or picking up a cookie when you stops at Starbucks. Nothing super out of the way, just a reminder that you're thinking about her every so often. I also love it when my so is out with his friends and texts me every so often through the night. It's so nice knowing that he's thinking about me even when he's plastered or hanging out with other people. Obviously not constant texting, but like once every couple hours or so. Be prepared to advocate for her. 2 articles below are worth a serious read. The first is a first-hand account of a man whose wife went to the ER with a life-threatening emergency, ovarian cyst torsion, and got poo-pooed and neglected by the staff until he went to bat for her. The second takes a broader perspective on women's healthcare. Bottom line is the same. Even when a woman is intelligent, well-informed, and communicates appropriately, she may not get essential diagnosis and treatment because of unconscious bias among healthcare professionals. My own life story is pretty similar to the first of these articles, except my boyfriend didn't advocate for me. I'd been in and out of ERS for 4 days, being kept for observation overnight, and the day after discharge he pressured me to go out on a date. My better judgment said stay home and rest, but he kept asking until I agreed to go out for coffee. Sitting in a coffee house for an hour couldn't be too rough, could it? When we approached the place, I asked him to stop by the door and let me out at the curb. He didn't. The next day I was scheduled for an ultrasound as follow-up testing at one of the hospitals. I screamed uncontrollably as they performed it. They rolled me into the operating room immediately. By the end of the day there were 11 staples holding my abdomen together. Put it like this, they say the most painful thing for a guy is when a gonad twists on itself. My ovary had been through 3 complete rotations. It had died, and it was rotting inside me. Would have killed me if they hadn't operated when they did. Afterward, when I woke up, the doctor, who had been on my case since the first visit, explained, "I didn't believe your pain. They could have treated it without surgery if they had believed me when I first walked in that door." The kind of guy I wish I'd been dating is the kind of guy who wrote that article. Of course you need a woman's consent to do what he did. Flag down nurses and doctors and insist on getting an opinion on a cord scan. Instead, I was dating a man who wondered why I was walking down the sidewalk so slowly after he had poo-pooed my request to let me out at the door. But he held open that door, which I hadn't requested, and that was probably the one thing I could have done for myself. The guy who wrote that article was a hero.